Okay, hey guys. So I'm gonna do another little story time. I thought about this story and I thought about it and I thought about it and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. Then I was like, no, I'm not gonna do it. Then I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. Then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna record it and if I like it, then I do it. But anyway, let's get right to it. Okay, so first of all, this story is about how I found out that I had gallstones. Yes, gallstones. So, first of all, my mama and my sister had gallstones and had to have the gallbladder, had to get their gallbladder taken out and all that. So, I knew that, with my mama and them dealing with it, that oh, I'm sorry, y'all. Look like somebody was outside of my driveway. But yeah, I knew that with my mama dealing with it and then my sister turning around dealing with it, I felt that, it was a chance that I may have to deal with it. But I didn't expect for it to be so soon, shall I say. So one day, me and Chris, we were at Sonic and we were eating. And just like all of a sudden, just out of nowhere, like we were sitting there, I hadn't even eaten anything. And we were sitting there and like, okay, let me back up a little bit. I have had problems with acid reflux in the past, which started actually back in 2000. It had to be like 2008 because I was pregnant with Jalen. So about 2000, about 2008, like the late parts of me being pregnant. So I had problems with acid reflux back then. So I just assumed that whenever my stomach would hurt, that's what it was. Because my doctor had told me that that's what it was, but I knew for myself that the problems was just, it was like a burning, like, it was just a nauseating, and then the pain was just a constant pain. And just over time, the pain just got worse. And so this particular time, we were sitting at Sonic, and I was just like, Crease. I was like, just out of nowhere. Just my stomach was just hurting so bad. It's like, it was just, y'all, I can't even explain what the pain felt like. It was just like just a nagging, just constant pain. And to me, I thought I had ulcers. I'm going to be honest with you. I thought I had ulcers because, they were saying that, the ulcers, of course, is like the sores and this, that, the other. So that's what it felt like. I was like, Crease. I was like, it's just a constant, like a burning pain. And I was just like, it was just a constant pain. So Chris was like, oh, just take some Pepto-Bismol. You'll be all right. So we went to the store. We went and got some Pepto-Bismol. Yeah. The Pepto-Bismol, well, this particular time I took the Pepto-Bismol. I can't say if the Pepto-Bismol worked or not because when it first started coming on, it's like my pain was like maybe 10 minutes. And then it would go away as if nothing ever happened. I'll be totally fine. So Chris was like, just say about after I took the Pepto-Bismol, he was like, you feeling better? I was like, yeah, I'm fine. That was like the first time it happened. Now, after that, like I say for a while, it's like I would get that pain maybe once a month. Like, it was a pain that I would just get one time a month. Like, so after a while, I just got used to it. It was just a little pain. Then I would do the Pepto-Bismol because in my head, I'm thinking it's working. One morning, and that's when after that time it hit me at Sonic, it started just hitting me like in the morning time. And when I say in the morning, it'll start by 3 o'clock in the morning. Wake me up out of my sleep. That's how severe the pain was. Like, it would wake you up out of your sleep. And the only way that I felt a little bit better is that I had to throw up. That's the only way I did it. Like, if I did not throw up and get whatever it was in there out, I was just going to be sitting there in pain. That was the only way it was going to come up. So Oh, and yeah, it makes you just want to sit on the toilet and, just whatever. But yeah, so one morning, I got up out of my bed. I was so sick, y'all. I was just constantly just throwing up, just everywhere. Just it was just coming up just everywhere. So I read online. Every time I would like Google, and like Google is my best friend. Okay, like Google told me I had sciatica, and I might do another story on that. But Google is my best friend. Like some stuff be like ridiculous, like if I done Googled mole on my neck and it told me that I had cancer and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, some of this stuff just be whatever. But yeah, I Googled my symptoms that I was having, and it told me that I had gallstones. But I was like, oh no, this can't be gallstones. I was like, because this just don't seem like gallstones. I'm assuming in my head, like, because my mom and my sister, like, they were, like, so sick that I'm like, okay, they were saying how they couldn't tolerate the pain and all of that. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm tolerating this pain. That was in the beginning. So, like I was saying, going back, there was this one day, well, actually, it was this morning. It was probably about 4 o'clock in the morning. Y'all, when I say usually the pain would last for, I don't know, about 30 minutes. For some night, it was just really, really stubborn. It lasted for hours. I went to the doctor that morning probably about, because I know I got up about 3 something. Because you can start feeling it when it's coming on. And like I say, you can feel it in your sleep. You can feel it. It just be like just it start off like a little, like your stomach upset a little bit. That's how it starts off at first, and you be feeling like you're a little nauseated or whatever. But then it's like the pain just get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. So this particular morning, I almost passed out. I just got the sweating all over. I don't think I could do it. I end up coming into the kitchen. And like I say, I Googled online about the vinegar. So I did the vinegar and water. And then I lay on my, I think it was my right side. I had to lay on my right side. And I did the vinegar and water. And I laid down. And actually that soothed it. That did work. So Google was right. But the next time, so it got worse that time. So the next morning, for some reason, it's like, usually it started off, it was like once a month. Then it started being twice a month. So I got up that morning. It woke me up out of my sleep. But this particular time, it didn't do it at 3. It woke me up probably about 5 something. So I got up and I was just feeling really, 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 really bad, y'all. I got up out of my bed. Next thing I know, that's all I remember getting up out of my bed, to be honest with you. Next thing I know, I was laying on the floor. I got up off of the floor and I went in the bathroom and I started throwing up in the bathrooms. I can't even tell you how long I was laying on the floor, so I'm assuming that I passed out. Chris and them sleep, the kids sleep, so I don't know. So I got up out the floor. I was still feeling bad. Went to the bathroom. I started throwing up again. I said, you know what? I got to go to the doctor. So, yeah, I got in the tub. Because anytime I go to the doctor, I just, of course, got to take me a bath or whatever. So, I got in the tub. I took me a bath. I put my clothes on. And that morning, Chris was getting ready to go to work. And he was like, where are you going? I was like, I'm not feeling good, Chris. I was like, I have to go to the emergency room. So he was like, well, do you want me to drive you to the emergency room? I was like, Chris, I think I can do it. Yeah, I was feeling so bad that I drove myself to the hospital. And if any of y'all ever be sick, don't drive yourself to the hospital. Because it's like, number one, it takes forever for you to get there. Even if it's a 2-minute drive. Because I promise you, the hospital is like literally down the street. But it felt like it took me forever to get there. Then I had to get out the car. I was feeling dizzy. I was just feeling real bad. So then I get to the emergency room and I'm telling them, I'm like, I'm sick or whatever. Telling them all the, symptoms and everything. So then once I go into the back and I'm sitting there, And the lady was like, oh, we're going to test you for gallstones. I'm like, you don't need to test me for gallstones. I'm like, you just need to give me some. I got acid reflux. The lady was like, okay. She was like, we're going to test you for gallstones. So I'm just sitting here. I'm like, now I know I don't have gallstones. My doctor told me that I got acid reflux. This woman don't know what she's talking about. So they bring a little machine up in there, and you know, you have to hold your breath and all that kind of stuff. And like, you can look on the machine, and it's just like getting a sonogram. So you know, I'm sitting there and I'm watching on the machine, and I just see like these little things moving. And I'm like, you looking? I'm like, and I'm asking the lady, I'm like, well, do you see anything? Oh, your doctor will tell you all that you need to know. But I'm asking you. Your doctor will tell you all that you need to know. But everything looks good. So I'm sitting here, I'm like, okay. When I know I saw like on the screen, y'all. Like I saw little stuff move. Like I saw something in there moving that, you know, didn't look right. So once she, you know, she left out of there or whatever, and the doctor came back in. And she was like, oh, yeah, you definitely have gallstones. And she was like, but you'll be all right. I looked at the lady. I said, I'll be all right. I said, I almost died this morning. We got to do something about this. She was like, oh, people live with gallstones all the time. I'm like, good for those people. But we got to do something about this because I almost died this morning. And she was like, well, I can give you a prescription. And she gave me a prescription for something. And yeah, I'm pretty stubborn, especially when it comes to medicine and stuff like that. I don't want to take no medicine. Like, I don't. Like, no. Like, if I can do something without taking the medicine, that's why I decided to do the vinegar and water. So after that, like, I started doing the vinegar and water. The vinegar and water started to work or whatever. You know, it keep me from, you know, being in pain or whatnot. So, a couple days ago, I went to my doctor. I set up me a doctor's appointment. And I was like, you know, I'm just going to go ahead and talk to my doctor about this because I didn't go to my doctor. I went to the emergency room. So I went ahead and I talked to my doctor about it. And she was like, okay, you're going to have the gallbladder surgery. I was like, but I don't want. She was like, well, you know, my doctor, I fight with my doctor all the time because, never mind. But yeah, but she was just telling me that I'm going to have the gallbladder surgery or whatever. But I'm going to say this. It kind of upset me that I was complaining about my stomach hurting. And, you know, it was like, okay, it's acid reflux. But my thing is, I guess my point that I'm kind of making right now is, if you got something going on with you, and I was taking the Zantac. I took the Zantac 150. I had to take those once a day. I was taking that, and I took that for a long time. So it was like I was taking that when really and truly I don't feel like I needed that. Actually, what I needed something for those gallstones, but I was taking something for something else. And that's why I really don't believe in taking medicine, because of stuff like that. But yeah, so basically my surgery is scheduled for next week. So I don't know, y'all. Pray for me. That's all I can say. It's supposed to be an outpatient surgery. But anyway, guys, if you like this story time, give it a thumbs up. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you want more. And I will bring that